Hey there. Hello. This is Tiffany Manchester. I always forget to put my information in the chat, so I'm doing it now so I don't forget. Follow me. I'm really enjoying Snapchat and Instagram, but Snapchat's super fun. Ken and I do, again, a lot of our daily fun, silly life things on Snapchat, so come follow us. Okay. Let me put this thing in. Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm your personal feel-good specialist. Thank you for the hearts. And I know I often talk about surfing and I give you guys scopes about surfing, but sometimes I feel really encouraged to help you in the areas of love. It's very noisy around here. Love, life purpose, health, and wealth. And today I want to address something that has to do with relationships. Hey, thanks for joining. I like to get straight to it, so that's just how it is with me. So because I don't want to waste your time, because you could be doing a billion things with your time. So I really appreciate your being here. Let me just make sure I'm at the top of your screen. So I want to talk about the key to a strong relationship, because I know we all have relationships in our lives, whether it's with our romantic partner or our parents or our dog, even people you work with. And it's really important to cultivate strong relationships, because these are people you're dealing with on the daily. And if you're struggling in your relationship, it probably brings you down. Am I right? So I want to talk about the key to a strong relationship. And there's many keys, but one that is very, very important is in your approach to communication. Your approach to communication is really important in how you cultivate strong relationships. And what I mean by that is, let's talk about what it's not about. And feel free to chat in the chat box and share and let me know how you're feeling. If you agree, if you disagree, I may be able to address it in the middle of my chat, maybe a little bit after, so just hang on. I'm going to try not to make this very long. I want to be straight and to the point. So what communication is not about, Marianne, you're awesome for inviting people. Thank you so much. Communication is not about compromise. It's not about sacrifice. It's not about dealing with other people's drama. So I think a lot of people have an approach to relationships and they're like, oh my God, she's so dramatic. I have to deal with this person. Or they think, great, I'm going to be in the middle of this conversation and I'm going to have to compromise something that I don't really want to compromise. And just block people as we go through here. And you're not dealing with you think you're dealing with other people's dramas when you don't have to be. You think you have to sacrifice what you want to give in order to give to the other person, and you don't have to do that. Okay, you think you have to compromise your integrity. You don't have to do that. And so that's the first thing to know right off the bat, is what it doesn't have to be about. And so if you have been raised with the upbringing of giving to others in a way that takes away from your own needs, you have the right to change that perspective. And that's what I hope to do for you today, is to change the way you approach communication. What is communication about? Okay, we've addressed what it's not about. What it is about is listening to the other person, listening with an open mind. Thanks, hi. Allowing the other person to talk without feeling like they're being judged or without interrupting them. And that goes both ways. It's about loving the other person, even if you don't really like them at the time. I think that's a really important one, is we start judging the other person because we don't agree with what they think, or we don't want to hear what they want to say. And so we become kind of closed off. And at that point, the other person isn't feeling heard, right? They're feeling shut down, and it creates a space of fear. Like it's not safe to say how you really feel because you think you're going to be attacked. And you find something, I sort of know French, but oh well. So it's really important in terms of communication to allow the other person to say what they need to say. And it goes vice versa. You need to be able to be in a relationship where you feel supported in saying what you need to say. And it takes time to cultivate this. It doesn't mean you're looking for, I mean, while it's great to find a partner who can absolutely meet you in that way, if they're not, know that they're a reflection of you, and you have work to do on that on your own. I know for me personally, I have to work on that all the time. I get scared to say how I really feel because I grew up being attacked, for not physically attacked, but just put down for how I felt. And so I can be very shy, and I can lack assertiveness in when it comes to really speaking my truth. And so when I'm in a relationship with people, I have to really learn to be assertive, and that goes first by being okay with what I need to say for me before I share it with the other person. So, there's many areas we can go on this topic of discussion, and I will continue to do that in other scopes, but in order to keep things like straight and to the point right now, I want to invite you to change your perspective around what communication means to you. This is the first step. It doesn't mean you have to figure everything out all at once and like, oh my God, now how is this going to go about? All you need to do is change your mind about how you perceive communication. Instead of seeing communication as conflict, see it as an invitation to grow stronger in your relationship. It's about bringing the darkness into the light, especially when it's on a topic that's really difficult for someone to communicate. It's extra hard because they're going to be really, really sensitive about how the other person responds. They're going to be sensitive, for their own sense of well-being, and they're not, there's going to be fear involved, and that's okay. This is how we grow, but you do want to be able to work with someone who can help you grow together. So whether your partner is on that same frame of mind or not, it can be your duty to teach them that. You can say something like, so if you're trying to change your mind about how you see communication, then I invite you to first change it within yourself before just dumping it on someone else, and take your time doing that. It doesn't mean that right away the conversations you have are going to change and they're going to become enlightening, though they may. It takes time, just like anything. It's like ninja training. You have to, it's like, okay, learning for a baby to feed itself. They're going to be messy at first. They're going to get food all over the place, and it's going to take time, and you kind of have to deal with the mess for a while. Crazy analogy. I don't know where that came from. But eventually, they're going to figure out how to get the spoon in their mouth. And it's the same about us in changing our perspectives. At first, it's going to be a little bit of messy because you're kind of on a pendulum. It's like your perspective is over here in this frame of mind, and then you're slowly switching it over to here. So for example, say you are someone, or you're with someone who sees communication as conflict, then the pendulum is going to be over here, and there's probably going to have been like difficulty trying to say what you feel and feel like you're being heard and work together and come to a place that I like to call the feel good, where both parties are meeting each other in the middle and can work together to find progress, or whether it's a solution or not, progress. And then all of a sudden you have to change your mind and start swinging over here. Okay, but in the meantime, you're probably going to be like, I don't know if I like how it feels over here. I'm really used to this. Even though I don't like how it feels, I'm comfortable with the way things have been because that's all I know and that's what I've been taught. So how is it all of a sudden different? And so then you come back to this place, and then you're like, oh, this is that same old pattern again. And then you try again and you swing, and then slowly that pendulum's going to be, sticking more around here. And then you'll be in the space of being a solid demonstration of teaching communication in a way that's beautiful and enlightening instead of dark and dramatic. And then you can teach it to others. But before that, just know that you have to teach it to yourself first. And so I invite you to do that by looking at communication as a way of strengthening your sense of well-being, as a way of connecting to your truth, as a way of allowing yourself to feel the way you feel, no matter what that is, no matter what the outcome is. It's about owning your truth. And it could be the little things like, you know, for me, a big thing of owning my truth was I don't really like driving around in traffic, but I feel like I have to do all these things because, you know, I mean, you got to run errands and you have to do whatever, maintain your life. And so, but then I had to own up to that and feel okay with that, and then sort of change the way I worked and how often I went out and ran errands. And it was a big game changer for me. It allowed me to run errands like once a week instead of every other day. And it made all the space I needed to do the things I really wanted to do. And that's like owning something for yourself. And then when it comes to relationships, just be assertive in how you feel. And then you can try not to take it personally the way the other person may react to you. Because it's going to take, you can't expect that other person to meet you exactly where you want to be met until that person is also willing to change their mind about how they see communication. And at that point, you're in an amazing position to work together and come to the feel good. And it's an amazing place when you can do that. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. And it means pushing through some of the messiness at first. And that takes a lot of confidence and assertiveness. And so I'm not trying to make communication sound like scary at all, because it's a really beautiful thing. But when you want to cultivate a strong relationship, it does take practice, it does take diligence, and it does take mindfulness. And the way I would like you to do that is to sit still in meditation. Even if you are not clear about how to meditate, I just wrote a blog about it. If you go to my website, let me show you. I wrote it down so that you can see it. followthefeelgood.com. You can also follow me on Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter. My handle's @TiffManchester for all of them. Followthefeelgood.com, and it'll take you straight to the recent blog I did about how to meditate. And it's really easy guidelines. It goes over like Q&A and frequently asked questions to address the fears of meditation. And I want you to know that you can do it no matter how little time you think you have. How busy your life is, whether you've tried it before or not, you can meditate. And that's how you can come to a place of confidence within yourself, because it gives you that space to allow your feelings to come to the surface. And then you can admit to yourself how you really feel. And when you admit how you really want to feel, then you can own those feelings. And when you own those feelings, you can be more assertive in sharing them with other people, whether it's work-related or romantically related, whatever that person is. Communication is the key to living a fantastic life. So, I guess that's my big blurb for you right now. I'm wondering what you think, and if you like what you've heard, please tap on the screen and share some hearts with me. I am your personal feel-good specialist, so my goal is to help you to feel good in your day by making any difficult decision with ease, and communication is one of those things. You can make decisions easily when you own your truth about how you feel, and then those yes and no, like those unsure thoughts in your mind, turn into a quick yeses and nos, and you don't like ramble on in your head with like, well, should I, well, shouldn't I, how's it going to hurt this person, how's it going to affect that person. There's lots more we can talk about on the topic, but that's it for now. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be back with more surfing scopes and hanging out with Ken, and be sure to follow us, and you can sign up for more information on my website, followthefeelgood.com, where I write blogs all the time. So thank you for being here, and I love you. Bye.